I'm Olivia Clarke, editor of Chicago Lawyer Magazine and the Chicago Daily Law Bulletin, and we're here today with the Inside Out columnists, Martini and David Susler, and we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. You guys ready for this topic? little heavy this month, I think. So how would you describe a lawyer with strong emotional intelligence? What sort of characteristics does this person have?
Well, in addition to having great substantive legal skills, they also have the ability to connect with people, connect with their clients, really understand the dynamics of communication beyond just putting stuff in writing, but just really being able to be empathic and understand what their clients and what people are saying to them, and understand what's being said and what isn't being said with respect to certain situations. I think it's really being able to gauge human communication in an effective way and being able to channel the information that they get in a way that just maximizes the effectiveness and the comfort around human dynamics and human communication.
Yeah, that is a very encompassing description of it. I would also say it takes a certain comfort level, I think, for an attorney to understand that it's okay to use their emotional intelligence in delivering legal services. It's not just, okay, you have a motion for summary judgment, or you have a closing on a building you need to get done, here's the legal answers. It is understanding your client's needs and being able to deliver them so that your clients, their needs beyond just having a contract done. Deals, lawsuits are fraught with emotion, and a lawyer with strong emotional intelligence is going to be able to communicate with their client on all those levels.
And so how does a lawyer develop his or her emotional intelligence so that they are more effective?
Well, there's a lot of ways. The easy way is practice and having mentors and learning good interpersonal skills. But there are books you can read. There's coaching. There's talking with your colleagues, talking with your client, just getting feedback to learn what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, I think David's really done a great job of summarizing some of the ways that you do it. I think that there are classes you can take, and sometimes it isn't necessarily a class on emotional intelligence, but it's classes with respect to being, more effective in leadership development, being more effective when it comes to just human communication. Sometimes the most effective things you can do aren't necessarily tailored to lawyers, but they're just tailored to folks who are interested in improving their people skills. And I think a lot of it is just being open and being aware and understanding that who you are in the world can often impact folks, even not folks directly, but there's a ripple effect to all the communications that you have. And I think it sometimes is just maybe changing your perspective in terms of how you enter a situation and realizing that depending on the dynamic, depending on who the players are involved, I think you can really go a far way by just trying to figure out how folks view the situation from all these different perspectives. And I think having empathy for them and compassion and really trying to understand what it's like from their perspective goes a long way.
And I think another aspect is being able to just take a critical look at yourself, do a self-analysis, do a breakdown of what went right, what went wrong. As you were talking, I remembered back to when I graduated from law school, and I asked my father for some advice on how to succeed in the practice of law, and he said, you have to learn how to pat yourself on the back because nobody's going to pat you on the back for you. And I didn't really understand that at the time, and it just struck me that this is something that I do, where I don't wait for formal reviews to tell me how I'm doing. So I look for in everything I do, in every client interaction, in every deal I work on, in every case I work on, I will take clues from my clients, from the outcome as to did I succeed, didn't I succeed. So that's one way. If lawyers are able to take a critical self-analysis view, they can really learn and grow their emotional intelligence.
Well, why is it important to do that? I mean, why is it important for a lawyer to be well-rounded from an intellectual perspective? Why is that so important?
Do you want to go?
Go ahead.
Well, I was in one ways it harkens back to last month's topic. Is that's how you provide outstanding client service. Any lawyer can give you a substantive answer, but if you really want to succeed in your career, it's the soft skills that get you ahead. It's your people skills, it's your interpersonal skills that are really going to catapult you to the head of your practice and really lead to a successful career.
I think it's, I look at some of the more complicated and more delicate situations that I've had to deal with over the past few years, and oftentimes, they're either on a conference call with a client or a meeting in person where there are a bunch of decision makers, for example, in a room, and you really can't underestimate the importance, for example, of not only being at the top of your game with respect to delivering what the right legal answer is for whatever the situation may be, but it's also really important to do your best to gauge what the emotions are and what the feeling and the sentiment is within the room or on the call. And it's just a matter of really focusing your attention on that sort of thing, because you oftentimes, by being able to read the situation, it helps you adjust. So if you go into the meeting thinking that your client's coming from one perspective, but then the primary decision makers, depending on how things play out, end up changing their mind, or other people voice their viewpoints in a way that ends up making things change, having those soft skills enable you to really kind of correct and recalibrate during the course of that meeting to really deliver the client what they ultimately need, which is not just the right legal answer, but also what is the answer that makes the most sense for their business.
Right, I agree. Being able to read the room, read the people who are involved, is going to lead you to a successful resolution, conclusion, whatever it may be.
Okay. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.